Be good, say what's up, guys? What is going on? Welcome back. Hope y'all are doing well. 1-1 for the USA versus Brazil match in Orlando, friendly. I believe this is the last match for both these teams before the Copa America starts. Really good match from the USA. Really good match from the USA. They definitely redeemed themselves. They definitely made up for the loss, the 5-1 loss against Colombia. I think most people thought that they were going to get thrashed because it's Brazil, of course, that they were going to get completely destroyed by this Brazilian squad. I didn't think so. I think there was also a good number of people that didn't think that because Brazil's in, what, 6th when it comes to the qualifiers for the World Cup 2026. And this squad isn't, in my opinion, from watching this game. Now, this is just one game, I know. They're not as good as the Colombian squad. Now, I know once the Copa America starts, it's Brazil. Brazil always commands that respect. I know for the teams that are, the visiting teams, the CONCACAF teams that have been invited, they're definitely going to respect Brazil. It's going to be a different tournament. Vinicius in this game, he wasn't as noticeable, as effective as many other games, but he was trying. He was giving his all. He was running. He was putting in the work. And it could be a different Vinicius once the Vinicius of Real Madrid, of course, once this Copa America starts. So everything can change once the Copa America starts. But the U.S. did not get killed. They did not get killed. If anything, like I said, they could have won this game. They had a number of opportunities right from the start. Musa with that long distance shots, crazy stellar shot that ended up hitting the crossbar. How did that not go in? I don't know. That should have gone in. That would have been a worthy enough goal for you to take off your shirt. Why not? Go and celebrate like crazy. And then right after that, Pulisic also a diagonal run, ends up a long distance shot as well, and Allison, right to Allison, I think it was for the save. And then after that, they started to close down, compact and condense the middle for Brazil. And the U.S. weren't running that easily into the middle anymore. But they definitely did have their chances. But they definitely found other ways to get through. Brazil as well. Brazil had a good number of chances. They got off to a good start with the goal from Rodrigo. Really good pass from, I think it was Guimarães, if I'm not mistaken. Guimarães or Rafinha. For me, the big opportunity that it was so weird seeing him make that decision. Although a lot of his decisions in this game weren't the best, Vinicius to Rodrigo all alone, and he decided to take it on his own and lost the ball. But he had Rodrigo all by himself, and he should know at this point, because he plays with Rodrigo in Real Madrid, he should know his movements. It should be just natural for him to know and pick him out. And Rodrigo, obviously, just flailing around with his arms, calling him to pass him the ball. That was a big opportunity for them to put themselves a 2-0 up in front. I think it was before the goal, actually. The USA also really, really good down the wings with Robinson and Scally. I thought Scally had a really good performance. I thought what Scally did really well in this game was against Vinicius. Scally, Richards, Wea, Reina, Reem. I'm missing somebody else because there were so many people on Vinicius. Vinicius was going ham against pretty much the half of the U.S. squad. But they had a really good game. They had a really good game defensively against Vinicius. Now, here's where things get interesting. I'm going to be a little bit more critical of Brazil and the U.S. I don't want to take anything away from the U.S., but this Brazil squad is a weak squad, in my opinion. The middle, maybe aside from Guimarães, but the back also with Danilo and Marquinhos, that, they're going up in age. But then you have these other players like João Gomes, Beraldo not having the best of seasons. I've seen him play several games, actually, for PSG. Wendell, just they're not cutting it out for me. And then we have in the front Rafinha, someone like Rafinha that's just great at taking corner kicks. That's it. That's all he's good at. Great at taking corner kicks. In this game, he did pretty well, but again, nothing threatening. Not the way when his replacement came in, Savio. He looked more like a winger and he looked more threatening on the ball. Now, at that point when he came in, the U.S. also on that side, Robinson did a really good job at keeping him on check and didn't fall for any of his attempts to try to take him on. But still, he looked much more threatening and much more likely to be able to cause some kind of trouble for Brazil. But Rafinha, like I said, all these other players, Wendell, João Gomes, Beraldo, Marquinhos, that has, sometimes he's on, off. Danilo, the same thing. I thought Danilo did well with what he was given. I didn't think he had that much work to do in this game compared to other games that he's played in. As for Turner and the saves, because I was reading some of the comments from the highlights and people were just, they were just praising him. Look, these are comfortable saves these are saves that he's supposed to make. As a professional playing for the national team, I believe that those are saves that you're supposed to make. They're within your area, within your body, your perimeter, and you're supposed to make those saves. Now, I know a lot of those saves, they end up just trickling by you. There's those errors, those are called errors, and depending on the calculations, depending on the timing, you could miss and the ball gets by you and you end up conceding goals that way. But that's not supposed to go in. So those, for me, those are balls that you have to save. All those balls were within area. There were a couple maybe that he had to like get down, maybe had to reach over, but most of them were just balls that were just right in his face pretty much. How could you not save that? I don't know. You're supposed to save that. You're a professional keeper. There's no excuse for that. And of course they have to name an MVP, and there was no outstanding player in my opinion as far as anyone outside of being a goalkeeper, so it makes sense to make him a player of the match. The same thing with Allison too. That save with Pulisic, I mean, he had to go down. If you're talking about the one against Musa, he didn't touch it at all. He was completely he was not going to reach for that ball. Now if he had saved that ball, then you could say that was an amazing save, and he made several of those balls, and he saved several of those balls, then yeah, that's a different story. But everything else is like, you have to save that. So really good performance and redemption match for the US. But Brazil, for me, they're not looking good. Again, I know once the Copa America starts, it's going to be different, but I don't see them getting far. Brazil, I do not see them getting far. I see them having a decent enough Copa America, but they're not going to get to the finals or like semis. I don't see them semis or finals in my opinion. So yeah, anyways guys, that's it. That's all I have to talk about.